High clouds drifting away, leaving those shadows under.
Jason, usually I've noticed he will take a look at what outfit I'm wearing for the gym, and he knows I love to match my outfit with my shaker cup. He knows this about me. You didn't see my outfit this morning?
I didn't.
I thought for sure you were like, I'm gonna give her the Grounds Neutral Ghost stainless shaker cup.
Did not.
Because I am like perfectly a Grounds girl today as I do my Flourish program. Only in the Grounds app, free 7-day trial down in the description box if you want to join me. Nothing to lose. Apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, Ghost Intra, Ghost Hydration. So it really starts your morning out getting hydrated, getting loads of electrolytes in you, getting in some additional digestive support with apple cider vinegar. I'm not like a believer that helps you lose weight, but I do think apple cider vinegar in combo with lemon juice first thing in the morning can really just like help with digestion. And I've noticed when I get congested sinus wise, it also helps drain me a bit and just kind of clear me out for the day. Jason's asked me every single day for the past
Since March.
12 weeks. March you started coming?
In March. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was the snow.
Yeah.
April.
I think it was after my marathon.
Yeah. I told you I was waiting for after your marathon.
Yeah. So
Well, since the marathon on.
whatever those weeks are, I've respectfully declined every weekend
Good job, baby.
and prioritized my sleep.
Good job, baby. Especially with your knees hurting.
Yesterday I did leg day, second leg day of the week.
She's like, my knees are knee, and I'm like, this ain't the complaint zone. And I just went.
So I did legs yesterday, plus I did like a
run.
a 10K last night at like 6 p.m.
And
So
the brutal heat, which I feel like.
I didn't really stretch either.
I also feel like you
I
got
don't recommend.
dehydrated from it. So that's gonna bother your knees more.
Yeah,
That
I just,
dehydration.
unfortunately, one thing I've noticed, especially after leg day, not even running, leg day, if I don't stretch, if I don't roll, I pay for it the next day. I can't just get into a workout the next day, regardless of what it is. If it's going to the gym or if it's climbing stairs, my body, because of my lower back tightness and my hip flexion, haven't been doing chiropractic, haven't been doing massage, I pay for it. And so is it, oh, you have a knee issue? I don't think so. I think the issue is stemming from my lower back and my hip flexion. So if I'm not dialed in on all of that, whew, I pay for it. So I did some stretching, and then I did lateral going down the stairs because that just felt better, even though it was challenging with the stairs being wet. Holy fuck, what's my heart rate? Good grief. 157.
That's like 3 minutes post.
Yeah. Like walking up those stairs and talking, that's a lot for me. Okay, well, got it done.
Good job, babe.
Little
Proud of you.
hit session.
Proud of you.
Thanks, baby. Thanks for inviting me
You know, you're
and never giving up on the invites. This was such a nice surprise, babe.
trying to make the last leg easier.
I was literally just listening to a YouTuber who does marathon runs, and she was literally just saying how her husband would go on every single long run with her and ride his bike and keep like a little basket in the front with all her stuff.
That's actually smart.
Right?
Because Kara just stole the rest of my drink.
Jason, I don't even think you saw my text.
No.
I had just like took a second to text Jay and be like, I'm almost home, I'm just so thirsty right now. And then I'm like walking and I look and I'm like, is that a mirage? Am I just so thirsty, or is that Jason coming to my rescue with fluids?
See? I got the psychic powers, you don't though.
Me too.
I tried to like telepathic, whatever the word is. Telepathy messages to you, you don't get them.
I know.
I apparently do.
Not good.
I apparently do.
Try to like mouth me across the room too, and I'm like, what?
I'm like,
I'm never picking up what he's putting down.
I'm like, chill. I'm not trying to tell people I'm talking crap about them.
I know. I'm not very good at that. It's always so hard when you're like, so you would think it's easier when you're so close. Same is true for a marathon. You're like, oh yeah, you can see the finish line. It's gotta be easy. Sometimes it feels harder Because you feel like you're so close.
But you got another mile.
But you got another mile. And when you're thirsty, nothing else matters.
Finish strong, babe. Finish strong.
Today's August 18th, which means fall is here, mother effers. It was like a cool fall day this morning, and even though I'm in a deficit, that don't mean I'm not gonna have some tasty treats on hand. I am making right now one of my favorite recipes ever. This is my pumpkin banana bread, high protein. It's got all the things in it. It's just so good. It is the best banana pumpkin bread you'll ever make. It's moist, it's delicious. And so we're gonna make that up today. I'm gonna do a walkthrough of everything that's in it. And we're gonna start by doing, I don't have this recipe memorized, so I'm looking back at an old Instagram reel. The one thing you do need to kind of get is some really ripe bananas. I like to do a combo of banana and pumpkin for this recipe because just gives you more nutrition. You get fiber from the pumpkin, vitamin A, then potassium and whatnot from your bananas. So I like to do a combo of the two. You don't have to, but honestly, it's better if you do the combo. But you do need them nice and ripe so you can just mash them down. Got the oven heating at 350 degrees. This recipe it's just been one of my favorites. So why wait until September to make it? So we got 2 ripe bananas. I'm gonna do half a cup of pumpkin in here. Now, this recipe is not in my Have Your Cake and Eat It Too cookbook. However, you can have your cake and eat it too. That's exactly why we made that recipe book. So you guys can find that down in the description box. It's an immediate digital download. You'll have access to like 67 recipes or something like that with video tutorials linked for the majority of them. So it's just a really great resource to have on hand when you're like myself, you're in a deficit, but you also still want to enjoy your foods in your life, you know what I mean? So
you gotta be in deficit. You just want to stay on track.
Absolutely.
And have your cake and eat it too.
That's right. Okay.
I still love that name of the book.
I do too. Definitely a good, very catchy name. Half a cup of pure pumpkin, which Jason uses pumpkin every single day. Like how much?
I eat my pumpkin. I eat 140 grams a day.
I know. How much? 140?
Yep. It makes your poop orange.
It will do that. It'll kind of soften things up a bit for you too. I'm using this Truvia brown sugar blend for 2 tablespoons. You could just use regular brown sugar, whatever substitute you like. A little bit of vanilla in there. I'm not gonna actually measure that. I'm just gonna put a little in there.
I see your sweet treat back there.
You see my sweet treat? Oh my God, you guys. You know I get down with a little diet soda. That is one of my favorite indulgences. The A&W ice cream soda, 0 sugar. If you can find it, good luck. It was a hunt for us. Finally found it at our local Wegmans. Haven't seen it anywhere else, sadly, but it's so good. Like it's like dialed back root beer. Root beer sometimes is a bit too much. This just gives it that like, I don't know, like lighter flavor, would you say, Jay?
Yeah, it goes down really smooth.
It does. It has that like vanilla-y
Vanilla and chocolatey taste.
ice cream taste to it. So good. We use the English toffee better stevia drops. You can get these are linked in our Amazon store. I don't remember how many drops I use, so I'm just gonna do a couple little zhuzhers like that. That should be.
Goes a long way, huh?
It does, right? You can add pumpkin pie spice if you want. Honestly, I don't feel like I need to. I'm just gonna do some Saigon cinnamon, but you could do pumpkin pie spice as well if you want. And lastly, for this bowl, we're gonna add 1 large egg here, which I probably, honestly, probably should have whipped that up ahead of time. So now I'm gonna grab a fork, just because sometimes it's easier to mix separately than all together, but it's all good. It's all getting mixed in the same spot. So I'll mix it over here. We're gonna mash this all up together, and then I'm gonna do the dry ingredients separate. Look, I used to be one of those people that was like, what is the point in dirtying another bowl just to mix wet and dry ingredients separately? I would try to get away from it. I have done it both ways. It makes a difference with baking. It absolutely makes a difference with baking. If you whip up your dry and wet separately and then mix them together, there's something about the cooking process. I don't know the science behind it. I don't know if it's just because stuff gets blended better, but there's something about it that does make a better product when you bake it. So I do recommend doing that, even though I'm guilty of being lazy and just taking the shortcut and adding everything in here. But I don't know, I'll have to look that up, what the exact reasoning is for that. But I'm just gonna keep mashing this down. You can tell why it matters to have your bananas ripe enough, because you can mash them just like a little bit easier. But for this recipe, you don't need to get them pureed or anything like that. I usually have a little bit of chunk to it, which I don't mind. It's kind of nice when you eat the bread to have like a little banana chunk in there.
All I can think of is Goonies.
Hey, you guys. Have you shown him our Johnny Bones Jones? He's chilling. We have not decorated yet, but the skeletons came upstairs for the live launch party this past weekend, so they're staying up here. But I would kind of like to decorate before.
I was thinking about bringing up some stuff today.
Yeah,
I would. Outdoor porch since it's cool out.
I wouldn't mind starting to decorate, because what happens is this year maybe more than ever with my travel.
I know.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
Did I get behind on stuff because of travel last year? I can't remember.
I did on the outside.
You did that when I was in Europe, I think, right?
I did.
Yeah, and it's like, I want to partake in that. Okay, this is, again, I would say optional, but if you're making it according to,
Show me the tub.
this is the Ghost vegan protein pancake batter. One of my favorites. They also have banana pancake
I
batter.
wish they'd make that
Right?
a whey flavor.
So we do 2, you think it'd be good for whey?
Yeah.
We do 2 full scoops of this. This is my favorite vegan flavor though, the pancake batter. It goes so nicely in baking, and if you are a vegan, this one does have pea protein in it. I get a lot of people asking me for non-pea protein vegan options to recommend. Unfortunately, I haven't personally found any that don't contain pea protein. This one's pea protein, pumpkin protein, and watermelon seed protein. So I don't know, I can't really recommend any because I haven't tried any that don't have it in there. We're gonna do a full teaspoon. Shut up, girl. Okay. Didn't know. This is why.
Not going off memory.
Got to follow my. I learned in the last video why I don't go up. That was me trying to follow a recipe. 1 teaspoon of baking soda and powder. You forget a crucial ingredient like flour, your recipe is gonna be compromised slightly. I am gonna add just a little salt, not a lot, just a little bit of this, but yeah. Well, actually, as it turns out, my YouTube description box was incorrect for 11 years. And usually that's what I go back to when I follow recipes. I won't watch the video. I'll just like go down to the description box to add it in there. Oat flour, we need 1 full cup. We use the Anthony's oat flour. You get that off Amazon, right, Jay?
Yep.
Finely milled, look at that. It just smells good too. This is how you level out your, okay, 1 full cup of oat flour. We're gonna whip up our dry ingredients. We're gonna mix that with the wet. I do need to, although we're using pumpkin, which is a great substitute for fat, I do still use a small amount of butter in this recipe. I use a tablespoon of butter. Full egg in here too. The macros on it, do I have them right in front of me? I don't have them in front of me, but they're still not bad. They're still not bad. But that little bit of butter, I do feel like makes a difference. You could try it without if you're someone who is worried about your fat grams, because fat is a hard macro that most of us screw up. I know myself, that's been something I personally have had to dial back. I was still doing like peanut butter for a bit, and like I like avocado more than I like peanut butter in my meals. So with cutting fat grams, I've just cut out the peanut butter for now, so I can save room for avocado and just, you know, even your grains and things like oat flour. There's going to be fat in that naturally that just adds up. So I think that's where people get a little lost with how easy your fat grams can just total up at the end of the day. I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of butter.
You unveganized your vegan.
I did. This is not vegan friendly. I just like the protein for baking a lot better. It bakes really good. So I'm going to take a tablespoon of butter and just melt that real quick. I'm gonna also fold in, these are a staple in our household, the semi-sweet mini morsels. I'm telling you, 1/4 of a cup, it goes a long way for the recipe. Fold that in there. I'm gonna spray, you guys can see that parchment paper sitting there. I've got a little, for the exact measurements, but just like a little bread pan. That's what we're gonna put our banana bread in. It's a little noisy, sorry about that. I'm gonna spray my little parchment paper. Oven's already heated up at 350 degrees. Now recipes like this, why I kind of got into making recipes like this is because I'm someone who has a sweet tooth. I don't believe it's sustainable to just say, I'm never gonna eat the foods I love anymore or have foods that I enjoy. I've personally found so much success with maintaining my physique and just maintaining not feeling restricted if I have alternatives that I can make at home. And it doesn't mean that I don't ever, you know, make a full fat version of things or use regular sugar. I do that too. But these styles of recipes for me just always meet the mark, if you will. Like I don't ever crave other things if I have these types of things in my diet. It's not like I'm craving cookies and candy and donuts. Like I will legit crave this bread. This is like one of my top things to ever make. I also have in the Have It Your Cake and Eat It Too recipe book, the pumpkin whoopie pies. Those are phenomenal. Those are phenomenal. So it's stuff like that that I have found just making at home. And I know some of you like hate cooking or maybe you don't like baking. That's why all of my recipes they're pretty easy to follow.
Take a few minutes.
Some only take a few minutes. Like it's just mixing a few things together in a bowl. Even simple recipes like overnight oats. For me, it's like such a delicious recipe that's really quick to prep that just sets me up for success. And I think that's why for me, I don't find that I'm someone that really craves eating out a lot. Honestly, there's maybe a rare occasion where I'm like, you know what? I really just want to get a cheeseburger or I want to get a slice of pizza. But it's pretty rare that I genuinely feel that way. So like just being able to have these types of alternatives has just made it so much easier for me to feel satisfied with my diet and have a better understanding too of what I'm putting into my body so that I can feel good about it. I'm at that stage in my life where for the most part, it's not worth it for me to put stuff in my body that I know is gonna not make me feel good. It's very rare that I'm gonna make that compromise.
Bottom rack?
Bottom rack. Yeah, well, it should be the middle, but the way we have our racks split up, it's gonna go on the bottom. And I'm gonna heat it in there for 25 minutes. 350, 25 minutes, and then you should be good to go. So everything always takes me a little bit longer to prep when I'm talking for video, but this is actually a very quick recipe to prep. This is something I didn't even have to think twice about its ingredients. I already have at home. And that's what a lot of my recipes have been based on. Like, what can I do with the stuff that I already normally eat, already have in my cupboard? I know go over well when I eat them. And I'm still indulging. I'm still having butter. I'm still having chocolate chips, still having brown sugar, things like that that satisfy me. So finding this balance between what you enjoy, not feeling restricted, but also that healthier alternative, I think is just what's worked best for me. You know, I'm not someone that does what I used to do back in the day where it was like I'd be so strict every single day, but Jay and I would have one all-out cheat day. And while at that time it sounded like I loved that approach, like I just looked forward to that one day. In a way, it was just such an unhealthy mindset for me to have. It was just so strict. And then that one day I would go way overboard where I'd feel sick and nauseous and gross. I just don't think that's the best approach to a healthy lifestyle. So for me, it's like, I'm not gonna try to restrict so I can go balls to the wall one day. I'm gonna find ways that I can eat what I love each and every single day and feel really good in my body. So that's my little spiel. 25 minutes is perfect. I like to let it sit for a bit. Technically, I cut it into small slices, even though I usually end up eating like more than one slice.
That looks moist. That
does.
Or the
I
knife.
know, it should be fully cooked though. I like to leave it a little undercooked. You don't have to. But I cut it down the middle, then just cut it across into like little chunks, little bread chunks. So you get about 12 servings in there, give or take. This bread never fails.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm a genius.
Good.
Every time. I'm telling you, this over, like, literally, what's the last thing that was Levain Bakery cookies I got with my WNBF in Boston. I was wishing I had this instead. Like, I wish I made this and brought this with me.
And guess what? That probably didn't make you feel too good. And this ain't gonna make you feel bad at all. Your digestion's gonna be on point.
It's so good.
You're not gonna crash.
Levain Bakery cookies just aren't living up to the hype anyways. This,
No,
however.
not compared to Cara Corey's pumpkin bread.
We're back in the kitchen, my friends, and I thought we would have a little chat while I prep some veg. I am in this 2-week. I've got like a 2-week period that I mentioned I want to lock down for the rest of August, but I looked at my calendar and I have about 2 weeks until travel begins. I have some really exciting opportunities coming up, some photo shoots. So what a perfect little dangly carrot, if you will, to just kind of keep after the damn thing. However, you know, the overwhelm is something I've noticed about myself that, you know, you could think in a time of getting prepared for a photo shoot, it'd be so easy to be dialed in, locked in. But even when good things are happening, I can have a tendency to get overwhelmed or feel, you know, stressed out, even though it's good stuff, right? Like sometimes good stuff makes us feel stressy. And I want to prevent that as much as possible. With upcoming travel, I have a lot I need to get done before I go. A lot I need to get done. A lot I had already kind of agreed to that I wanted to do, things coming up in September, October. And these are my favorite months. However, the more things that come up, my mind is just starting to like open more tabs, like you're on a computer. Like I have multiple tabs open in my brain right now. And with that, I can see myself kind of getting lost in things. So I'm just being transparent about understanding myself and wanted to give you guys some tips and kind of share with you how I'm gonna approach these next 2 weeks, because I know I'm not alone in that feeling. So if you're wondering why I'm doing this while prepping vegetables, one of the things I've noticed with my diet lately is I just need to be adding in more volume. I've really done a good job. You guys saw some HIIT cardio. I've been doing HIIT cardio now, adding that into my routine a little bit. In addition to my running, I'm kind of upping my running a little bit here and there with my mileage. I did a long run on Sunday that was nearly 12 miles. So with that in mind, if I actually want to be in my deficit for the next 2 weeks, I have to be really smart about how I'm eating. So a couple things I'm gonna do. Number one is just making sure I'm getting enough vegetables in my diet. I love just roasting vegetables on a sheet pan. So I'm just doing that with some zucchini, some broccoli, peppers, tomatoes, carrots, and I'm gonna do some onion as well. Just a little olive oil, roast it in the oven so I have a big thing of veggies to kind of last me for a few days. In addition to that, Jason even mentioned I just need to go back to basics a bit with some of my eating. Jason volunteered to kind of cook for me a bit more again. He always volunteers to cook for me, but he's kind of, I feel like, committed himself to it. Or did I just put you up to that task?
No, I just mentioned because you were having GI issues.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, guess what? You stopped eating. You stopped having me make your food. Every time I'd ask you, like, no.
Yeah.
So I just kind of stopped asking after a few days.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what changed. You're like eating other foods that you're compared to normal.
Yeah. So I'm just, you know, I like variety. I like eating different things, but with that comes more variables. So I'm going to just go back to simplifying for 2 weeks. And I think a lot of people get caught up in feeling like the restrictions so easily, whereas it's not really a restriction. I mean, you can you should be able to give up anything for 2 weeks, right? Like that sounds really hard. My hair is just getting in my face, so I got to get it out of my face. I know even just talking with people, they struggle to just track consistently for one full day or track consistently for a full week. Little things can just overwhelm us and feel overwhelming and too much, but sometimes it's all about your mindset. It's about how you're mentally approaching things, and it's about the stories that you're telling yourself. You know, is it that it's really too hard, or what is the story you're telling yourself to just keep you comfortable? Because ultimately, a lot of this stuff comes down to comfort. Even if you're unhappy with yourself, we want to stay comfortable. So I need to push more into being uncomfortable these next few weeks. 2 weeks, I'd say. And it's not even really uncomfortable because it's not like this is uncharted territory I haven't been before, but I do have kind of a comfortable maintenance spot. And so anytime you come out of what's normal for you, it can feel uncomfortable and overwhelming. So anywho, in terms of food, that is my main mission right now, is just to keep things simple, but not so simple that I'm setting myself up to fail where I'm starving either. So that balance for me ends up looking like adding volume into my diet. Zucchini is a great way to do so. Summer squash, zucchinis, whatever you can get your hands on, and just vegetables in general. I also grabbed some cucumbers. We have more tomatoes. I like to do a cucumber, tomato, onion salad with like apple cider vinegar and just a little bit of stevia, kind of tapping into some of my ways of what I used to do things in bodybuilding to set myself up for success. I don't really feel like I need to reinvent the wheel here. I've done this before. I know I can do this. So it's just, you know, being a bit more strategic the next 2 weeks in terms of nutrition. And like I said, I know for me when I get overwhelmed and stressed out, that is something for me that can be a trigger for overeating. So you need to know about yourself what triggers you and what sends you into that spiral where you unalign with what your goals are. And for me, it can very easily be if I feel like I'm too overwhelmed, I'm too stressed out, I have too much to do. So with that in mind, the other thing I want to do these next couple weeks is just be very intentional with my timeline. This dang broccoli on my finger. Just to be clear, when I say locking it in, dialing it down for these next couple weeks, I've been doing the Driven series since May, I believe. Like this has been a pretty thorough series, I would say. It's been like 3 to 4 months now. And so when I say locking it in or dialing it down, at no point have I stopped. I have just continued to move forward with my goals. I've been working really hard all summer long. And it's one of those things where I'm acknowledging that in order to continue to see results, being as lean as I already am, I have to push harder, meaning either increase cardio or decrease my macros. So that's truly what I mean when I say like locking it in. In addition to that, you know, the series does have a time frame, and every phase of weight loss should have a time frame attached to it. You shouldn't be in one phase too long. You shouldn't be in a deficit for a year. You probably realistically can't do that either. So another thing I recommend that I do as well is go through seasons of weight loss. So there's periods of time where I do a purposeful cut, a purposeful deficit, and then I move out of that, head back towards maintenance. You may go into a lean bulking period, you may not, you may enter another cut, but you want to go in and out of certain seasons in effort to actually maximize your deficit period. And so I think these next 2 weeks are going to be the last 2 weeks of me really being in a hard deficit, and mentally in a way that helps me, because sometimes you can kind of flounder when you're like, when is this going to end kind of thing. I don't look at it like that because this is my lifestyle either way. I mean, I don't live my life in a deficit, but it's just modifying what I'm doing and finding the best ways that work for me. But I think these next 2 weeks are kind of going to conclude, you know, driven. So I really want to see what I can do if I go a little bit harder into the cut. I love food, you guys. I don't love being hungry. I don't know why I feel like I have to say that. I think just because I think some people know my history of bodybuilding or the fact that I'm a dietitian and maybe just think that this stuff's easier for me than the average person. And it's certainly not. Like, I like food as much as the next guy. I like to not be hungry as much as the next guy. I like my snacks just as much as you all. So this is hard for me too. I'm human too. I like crap food too. I'm just, you know, someone who does try to be very purposeful about my diet. So I hope that makes sense. I just really want to give it my all these next 2 weeks, you know, prior to traveling, of course, and then also to kind of see what my end results are. I feel like I've made really good progress thus far, but with 2 weeks of really wanting to push harder and lower in a calorie deficit can come cranky Kara. It can come Kara being more stressed out, more moody, because that's what happens. That's something I know about myself as well in a deficit. My energy could be depleted a little bit quicker as well. So things I have to pay attention to while, you know, about to travel is I need to be really smart, really strategic about my to-do lists, what I have going on. So today I was trying to go through, and like I mentioned, I have like all these open tabs in my brain of things I just need to do. Like, they're just calling the vet for Bruce. We want to get him into this new vet. That's something I still haven't done. And it's because I haven't written it on my task list. I keep forgetting simple things like that are up in my mind. They're there, but I just haven't done them yet. So I'm trying to do a good brain dump to kind of think about all the things that I really want to make sure I do or attempt to do before I head on out on my travels. So I've got like a personal list, and then I'm also doing a work-related list. And from there, I'm going through my calendar and really plotting out the next 2 weeks. And I don't necessarily do block scheduling. I do somewhat with my work, with my calls or work deadlines, client emails, things like that, Grounds Inner Circle. But I know I need to be more strategic the next 2 weeks. I don't have any room for not utilizing my time as wisely as possible. And with that, it's just gonna help me reduce my anxiety a bit. Sometimes we spend so much time talking about myself, but I know I'm not alone here, being anxious about all the stuff we need to do. How am I gonna get it done? Oh my gosh, I have so much to do. And that's sometimes when people just totally flop on working on themselves and their own goals. They're like, well, it's just, there's too much going on, I can't do it. But if you actually take a good hard look at how you spend your time, there's likely somewhere that you're not being efficient, that you can be more efficient within your day. Now, sleep is always a priority for me, but sleep's been going okay on my end. And one thing I've been doing, this took me a bit to adjust to, but I've been getting up in the morning with Jason again, most mornings, I'd say. Mm-hmm. And that's giving me a little bit of time back in my day, because the only time you can really kind of add time back into your day is first thing in the morning. There's really no excuses there. There's gonna be excuses later in the day. So I've been trying to get up with Jason in the morning, kind of tick off my lifting, and then usually I've been doing my cardio in the evening. But something I'm going to do, like I said, with this block scheduling is have a physical plan, not only for my work to-dos, but my workouts. Boop. My workouts, but also personal time too. Like Jason and I think tomorrow we want to go to the apple orchard. That's something I want to do. I may go to the fair with my family. I may go see my family. There's like things, like personal things that I want to build in too, but also I need to physically put it in a calendar to see what's realistic. Because if I don't do that, it all feels impossible. It feels overwhelming. My mind feels jumbled. And if you're feeling that way and you're someone that gets triggered by stress or overwhelm, that could lead you to be like, oh, I got all this going on, I don't know what to do. You head to the cabinet and you get a snack. I know a lot of people are like that, where you just get snacky because you have feelings and you don't know what to do with them. So that's just like a little tip for you, is to just figure out what you're doing in your day where you could be more efficient, where you could be more dialed in for your week to make you feel more on top of stuff. So that's my plan, is to, and I'm pretty proud of how I've been in terms of my efficiency. I'm getting better with it. And I'm hoping to prove to myself these next couple weeks that I can do even better with work efficiency and just task management by block scheduling things, I should say, a little bit more. So that's the biggest thing for me. Like, I noticed the days that, yes, I do olive oil and spray because I like my veggies really saturated. I noticed the days that I really, you know, set a list for myself, a schedule of things I want to do, and I follow through on it and I get that stuff done, is when I feel the best. It's when I feel most in control. And if I feel in control and that I'm actually in alignment with the things I say I'm gonna do, I feel better about myself. It's easier to eat healthier. I go to bed at night with less on my mind, and I wake up the next morning feeling good about myself, about what I accomplished the day before. So I'm just trying to think about future Kara and how do I want to feel tomorrow when I get up in the morning? How do I want to feel the next day? Does that mean working a little bit harder today to get things done, to set myself up good for the next day? Yes. So it's kind of what I'm gonna plug away with for the next 2 weeks. How good these veggies look. I'm gonna roast these in the oven. This will give me several days. They're gonna shrink down a bit, but this is gonna give me a good amount of veggies to have to go with meals, so I can kind of increase my volume a bit while I'm cutting down the calories a little bit more. So hopefully I don't get too cranky up in here cutting down the calories, but there are so many things that I have set my mind to achieve that I didn't think I could accomplish, and I've accomplished those things. So I know I can continue on with this goal, and I'm just reminding myself I can do the hard stuff. And so can you. So let me know what other videos you would like to see while I am really going deeper into the deficit these next 2 weeks that are gonna be really busy. So let me know in the comments what you would like to see. And until next time, friends, stay driven. I hope this chat was helpful. Like the video before you head on out of here, and we'll see you in the next one.